Hi, Marit.
Hey, how are you doing?
Uh, Doing fine. A bit of trouble these 2 weeks, but doing okay.
Awesome.
Still owe you the Google Doc, but I'm almost done with it. So we'll be sending you this evening my time.
Have I wrote you that? Have you seen my comment?
Yeah, I saw the comment about the approach. So I think I didn't actually have that. I just like have rough plan. But I mean, we need the options to send keys only to the backend. But that's the only thing that I was thinking of that time. But yeah.
Yeah, I think this is pretty simple. So I mean, I don't want you, or we might run into a situation where maybe things in the doc like might not would not make sense in like what thing, because we haven't talked a lot about how what is the problem here, and we haven't aligned. So I'm just want to make sure that you don't feel like that you spend a lot of time on it, and yeah, so I just want to make sure that we talk before.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can talk on Friday, or if
Sure.
I have the doc up before that, I can send you first. But yeah.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Are we waiting for Marcus? Will Marcus join us today? Mm. Mm. We are 4 minutes past, so maybe we can start, and if Marcus joins, we can and we can talk with him. If not, we can just like do robustness test focus meeting. Okay. Yeah. So let me start the intro for the recording as we do. So hello and welcome to HCD robustness test meeting. Today is April 22nd, and we have one item on our agenda today that I've proposed, but there are other things that we do periodically. So, as always, this is open forum meeting to discuss anything related to correctness testing of HCD, including antithesis and HCD robustness testing. So if you have any questions, feel free to add the topic to the doc, or raise your hand or let us know, so we can help answer those, and maybe the answer will be useful for other people too. And yeah. One topic I wanted to bring, just an announcement. I think we've been doing antithesis for some time at CD, and I've been in touch in both antithesis with people there and on Kubernetes side. I've been doing a lot of work. So for based on that, I think. We are finding a couple of interesting use cases where antithesis could also be like this collaboration through CNCF could be also extended to Kubernetes. So I'm trying to, or we made the first, like, let's say, official step. Discussion has been happening like since KubeCon, but we made the first official step to request, to ask Kubernetes steering to submit a official request for antithesis access, as this was announced to be available to, where is it, during KubeCon US last year. It was announced to be available to all graduated CNCF projects, so why not use it? Yeah, if you're interested here, the target is a little bit different than correctness, because correctness is a little bit different in Kubernetes. We are trying to look into using fault injection for graceful degradation, basically trying to understand how non-happy path in Kubernetes, so basically a fault, how it influences Kubernetes behavior, and what kind of feedback loops it creates, and whether those feedback loops are negative. I think explicitly here, we had an issue with replica set controller that that can create extra pods when when informer delays increase over some time. So we would want to have a test that can inject a slow watch, a failure to trigger a slow watch to reproduce, to find such issues automatically instead of depending on community to find it for us. Any questions to that?
Nope, but I guess how the Kubernetes team take this, or are they receptive to the idea?
So, I mean, I'm pretty close with at least the people that are here. So those are like, I've been talking to many people about this like on KubeCon and since that. So it's not new. Some people are aware of it. I think. So I think what we have built trust with the etcd collaboration between Antithesis and etcd, that we can find elusive bugs, and this is like covered in the presentation that me and Marcus did on KubeCon in EU. And we have a use case. We have exact problems that we want to solve. So I think for now, the testing side, like people, Antonio and Ben are from the testing side, and they're supporting like SIG testing, so they're supportive for that. There is Dims, who I think he's ex steering. I don't know if he's still in steering. I think he was in steering. So, but yeah, he's aware of the problems, and Michael has been working on the problem of the that I described, of the how do we handle slow watch on Kubernetes. Yeah.
Yeah, and if we were to do it, would this still be an etcd effort, or is that going to be spin off? Like, I think we discussed this last time, whether it's going to be a new work group, or I don't know.
Yeah. So for now, I don't like. I will see, or that would be a separate work group as a meeting. I don't think we need a meeting or like a place for POs. I haven't made like concrete plans whether I would be requested to make a public meeting. So I don't have a concrete plans, but there needs to be. I expect there will be a hosting SIG, so someone responsible that will take ownership, and I think test infra will host at least the infrastructure part, or like access and things like that. For the forum, I think like we'll see whether I think the POC element, I think here we want to move fast and with minimal overhead. That would be my preference, so we can land something that works. And then when we have POC, we can look into scaling up, maybe establishing a working group. But this is a pretty, I would say this is hard, like somewhat harder than even like etcd. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the concept here are, yeah, it might be harder, so we'll see. But we'll let you know.
Yep.
uh, about
Would love
that.
to join force and contribute in that area too. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely would love to use your like expertise on Docker Compose and how to set up like the Kubernetes deployment that will go do similar path. Let me see. Okay, let me think. Well, let me think. Um, what? Yeah. So that's all for that. Yeah. If there are no other topic, we can, I know, do next item, which is usually just a reminder for me to review if there are any tasks, anything, new tasks or things that would need help. Um, I think, what is this? I created something. Oh yeah, we discussed. So I think I created an issue during the meeting, so we can split execution in antithesis to have separate driver or separate step. Um, yeah, so we can. Yeah, so that's an issue, but I don't think there are any new issues. I don't think there. Yeah, uh, I haven't opened any new issues. Mm, uh, and usually the last item on our agenda.
Oh, Marek, one question about the first item that you have. So if we are working on the antithesis, is antithesis supportive of the initiative? Because basically we are going to be using their service more. So
Which or what are you asking specifically? And like
like in terms of
Kubernetes
like,
side?
because antithesis is like a company and it's like we are
Yeah.
using basically using their product, and they if we expand it, are they fine with like the increased capacity utilization?
Uh, so there are a couple of things about points on here. What the I think like the proposal for Kubernetes thing was based on like agreement with them. So I've been talking to them, and this is based on like partially on fact that CNCF is technically paying for infrastructure. And by paying, I mean giving credits, cloud credits to run it. So it's not Antithesis doesn't pay for that, and they don't like. It's more on CNCF. So, question: will CNCF will we run out of credits on CNCF side? That's a question here, and whether they will notice us. So I think at the beginning, like I'm not thinking at this level on periodic jobs, so I think we are good
Yeah,
here. I can talk with Ben about credits. He's like steering member on test infrastructure about this part. So yeah, thanks for reminding me. I should talk to him whether we think. But at this point, I don't think we are talking about periodic tests. Like POC will be a POC. It will be it will be not technically, maybe not even reusable, just something to show it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, to give you example, like before, like full etcd collaboration with Antithesis was based on POC that was done by Antithesis on their side. So it's all the work that we've been doing within etcd repository that's based on completed POC that was I marked it as useful and suggested it to CNCF. So here POC hasn't yet happened for Kubernetes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and by POC I mean proof of concept. So yeah, just if I use Lingo, I know Google Lingo. Let me know. Okay, we can look. Or next item on the agenda is we try to review the state of the dashboards in our testing. So starting with robustness, we have not great an increased number of failures, and looks like most of them are which we were trying to address or addressed somewhat by reducing, but looks like we haven't fully managed to get that. Yeah, we have a lot of timeouts now. Or a single, or this is interesting case that we have a one failure in each run for this architecture, which might imply. And okay, so that's oh man, we have so many new architectures. I didn't even notice that we have PPC. And then 3.6 release. And technically, etcd 3. So we go back to testing etcd 3.4. But technically, within a couple of weeks, etcd 3.4 goes out of stable support. So that just a reminder, I think the agreement was to support etcd up to May. And assuming end of May, we are close to that. We are getting very close to that deadline. So the dashboard will become much smaller. But also the 3.4 is stable. Don't know how to think about it. Much more stable than others. Okay. We have so many failures, so I don't know if we can look at it deeper than or very deep. And it looks like the UI is not doing great. Pro UI is not doing great job here. I cannot easily find reason for the failure. Interesting. Yep, I don't know. Maybe we can get more lucky on the second test. So here we have upgrade downgrades. And again, there is a lot of logs, but there is no nice log that says why it failed. Yeah, we had the pending issues. Oh, this is new. So I haven't seen this anywhere. There was an on the job site. So the container that ran test died. Um, never seen this. We've seen signal killed in the logs, which usually should imply an out of memory error, but we haven't seen it being reported mm, by the job here. So yeah, haven't seen this. Mm, maybe it's a new feature because we can see it also in this case. And yeah, and this is so this is what we usually see. So now we have here, and there is a signal killed. So this is something. This confirms hypothesis that are the problem. Uh, yeah, which is comforting that we were not totally wrong. Mm, and here we have also signal killed, but also job is reported as dead. Um, yeah, so the only thing that we were unsure is why do we during validating watch? This is, I know if validating watch should allocate. Maybe there is a bug in validating watch. Um,
Is there a server log on the test executor? Like,
what do you
to see.
mean? I
Um,
had
I think this is like it sounds to me that if we get a signal kill,
yeah.
it means that it hits the soft limit memory.
Mm,
Um, I mean, could hit the soft limit of the memory C group. And I'm
maybe,
not sure.
but I don't think, or yes, that's the that I mean. I mean, you also need to account that full node could be running if you don't set limits. I think we set limits here. Uh, the whole kernel can just like kill you if. Mm, but yeah, I don't. Yeah. So this is yeah, or the answer is yes. It's you're hitting a limit with memory. That's a Yeah. And here we have a timeout, linearization timeout. Haven't seen this. Oh, haven't seen those for a very long time. Mm, and here the test took longer. So here we have a timeout on test execution. Mm, what is this? Pre-failures. What I'm looking for, I don't know. Um, oh, this maybe let me skip. And this is the timeout. Another linearization timeout. That used to be rare. And I optimized linearization. Did I, not have you reviewed my optimization? I don't remember who reviewed it. Maybe Henry did. Have I made a fumble again? Okay, so we have another large timeout. And good old QPS. Yeah, so during the test we try to simulate enough traffic, and sometimes we hit, not efficient nodes, and doesn't hit QPS limits, and this is interesting, but I don't know if I want. Yeah, this is something separate and interesting, but maybe no. No. Just to make sure. Yeah, this failed. So sometimes you have one timeout causes other places to timeout and log an error, or a context exceeded, the line exceeded, and so you need to look at which one. So for some reason, fail point here, and the fail point is before commit. This is also new. Why? Oof. A lot of interesting stuff. Uh, hope that it makes things exciting. Um, Usually you don't want excitement in your software. But but yeah, but at least there is something to do and maybe learn. Um, yeah, so for, I know, new people, this is, we run periodic tests that validate like fuzz etcd and try to find new cases, and trigger a failure. But because this is a pretty unfortunately delicate tests because of, many reasons, is this so this is an so now the are now reported here. I haven't seen this. Yeah. um Going back, so those are tests that are pretty delicate, because of many reasons. First, we generate random traffic, so we can get different kind of unusual traffic patterns, but it also means, but second, so that can create a load that is unpredictable. And second, we don't run validation, and validation of a distributed system is very costly. It's NP hard problem. So that way, so that way, if we go into bad branch, or if the test go like we are unlucky, sometimes linear, like the linearization, the to prove something is correct, the linearization is an NP-hard problem. So sometimes if you're unlucky, it will go into exponential execution time. And at that point, we cannot do much. Usually the timeout helped to restrict memory from growing too much. So I'm surprised that we are, like here, timeout. So I'm a little bit surprised that we are seeing more like ohms, and I think ohms are caused by different kind of validation. But yeah, validating correctness is very costly, and if we had infinite resources, we could just like increase the VM. But here, the nature of exponentiality is killing us, like or killing the container. So basically, I would put hypothesis: if we go into bad branch, we cannot it's very hard to predict memory, and so it's maybe I need to
Quick question, Marek. How do we know that the job part is not changed, like the resource allocated to the job isn't accidentally changed?
I can go to that. So okay, a lot of too much boring stuff, like reading tests is boring. I just want to collect some things, some data points, so we can discuss them and have some like historical data, so we can make decisions based on that. But yeah, like to answer your questions, if you go to etcd project, if you read documentation for contributors, you can find a pro guide that will tell you where you can find configuration, or I hope. There are categories of job, but we care about periodics. So I think here is job types, and here is a link to periodics. And robustness tests are here. So here is the definition of the job in Pro. Pro is a tool used by Kubernetes in a couple and other projects. I think it was built by Google to do like a CI, and it runs CI containers. And you can find memory. It's a normal manifest, like Kubernetes manifest, and you can find memory here. So to answer your questions, if you do blame and find the thing again, let's say the main job for branch main, we can see that we haven't changed it for the last 2 years. Does it answer your question?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. And second part of the thing that might be useful is that you can look at the job memory usage. Or this dashboard worked for a long time and then broke, so I'm interested if it works today. It works. So this, if you select here, you select robustness main, you can find resource usage. And you can find ooming job. Like I think this job oomed. So you can see, we are using 2 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes, 12 gigabytes, and we didn't change anything in the code. Yeah. So based on these variants, I would say, it's not great. Any, questions to that? Just why you're so slow, or it's Prometheus underneath. So you can see a job. It was executed. And he's nicely in limit. And here is his us banging against the ceiling. And here is like linearization validation. Sometimes it's very cheap, like going through 1 gigabyte, let's say a chip is 1 gigabyte. Sometimes it's a little more costly. Sometimes we go I think the question here is, can we get, or can we just increase the memory and be done with it? I think that's usually the easiest answer. I thought I increased the memory at some point, but look, like based on the ask by non about like looking into the job, looks like I haven't changed it, or it hasn't changed since beginning. It's still like the biggest etcd job, but I think if we requested more, it shouldn't be as bad, because we can see here we are hitting it. Yeah, so let's go into action. So what are actions we can do here? We can increase memory limits, and I think, I know, or even like biggest scalability tests use 24. Like I would say we are on 14. Maybe we can live with like maybe 32. I don't know. That's one. I think we can. They will. Kubernetes will not kill us. I don't know. Or I mean, I don't know what's the sizes of like the worst case. We will run out of sizes of instances. So we should validate what's the biggest request in Kubernetes infra, and definitely not go above this. Go. Why? Because if we put too much request, there will be no node to schedule on. Or I don't know if they are using cluster autoscaler with memory, with node auto provisioning and memory, and that can allocate much bigger VM. I don't know. I would not assume that. So we should just like pick the biggest. I think I've seen 26 gigabytes. Yeah, another debug it. Or maybe first question, is anyone interested in looking into that?
Is it like going to all the Kubernetes project and see
So
how other projects use?
if you open, no, like this is pretty simple. If you open this repository, here is etcd, here is Kubernetes. So if you grab here for limit,
So is the idea to auto bump the limit? Is that the idea? Is the idea to auto increase the limit or something like that?
What do you, are you asking about what I said before?
Yeah, like what's what you're trying to achieve?
No, I'm no. I just said that usually when you run a Kubernetes cluster or like a GKE cluster, because I work on GKE, so I know.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you need to, you have some auto scaling, or you can enable some auto scaling, and there is a default auto scaling, and there is like GKE auto scaling, and there is a Carpenter, if you like, for throwing different names. And the default like simplest auto scaling, just you create a node shape, like let's say nodes with some size, like 16 gigabytes of memory, and then you, if there are pods that request that cannot be scheduled because there is no capacity, the autoscale will add another node and another node and another node, as long as there is pods that are pending. and because lack of resources.
As far as I know, but I didn't dig a lot deep into that. I feel like the definitions are fixed. So if you're requesting 16 gigs, and in the definitions that I think is maybe SIG testing, in the definitions that they have in Pro is like maybe they have up to 8 gigs, so your body is gonna be pending forever because there's no capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I know I run scalability tests, so I know what is where to find the biggest one.
Okay.
Because I'm at blame of where are you? Here's 16. Here's 24.
Okay.
And this is not size. This is my job, and this is 32. Yeah, 32 for the win.
But if you request, like, let's say 64 gigs, I don't think they will automatically provision a new node with more than 64 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
So
yes.
My point is, like, I think those definitions for the instance or node sizes are fixed. So it's not like,
yeah,
you know,
sure.
like in those autoscalers that you can say like, oh yeah, like any memory, like general purpose, and just create it. Any size. Yeah.
Yes, I know. It's called node auto provisioning, and it's a feature that you need to enable in GK. Yeah. So, but we should be good with 32. Yeah. So if we could just increase, I know we have some robustness jobs, but this is like, let's say, negligible to cost of the whole scalability testing, like the size. So if we can just increase, and I know it's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Yeah, just when you say limits, but maybe just a notice when, so set the request and limits to the same size as the CI job may get rescheduled.
Sure. That, I mean,
relocate.
You would figure out it if you send it to me on PR. I will I would point it out. But yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Going back, can someone help send PR to the repo?
Yeah, to the test info.
Yeah, that's a great, like, good first issue. It's like, it's something very easy. So if a new contributor wants to do it, else none can do it.
Yeah. Okay. So I will just send here periodics, leave a link. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do it. I'll send that this evening.
Okay. Oh, oops. Okay, Control Z worked. I did it to 42 pages of the document, just for a second. Okay, that's great. It's just at 5 minutes. Yeah, it's just 20 lines of code, but repeated, or 4 lines of code repeated 10 times. Another option is to debug, but I don't know if you want to. To debug, we would need to look into what exactly, when it's happening. And I have weird, again, expectation that this is related a little bit to what we've been doing with watch, the changes with watch, because this is after linearization time, or this is also weird. Henry is looking into that we have 5 minutes, sets 5-minute timeout, and we have linearization running for 28 minutes. Yeah. So I would leave it to Henry if he has time. Okay. Then we have problem of tests running longer than 3 hours 30 minutes, which is also a configuration issue. So we can do two things. We can reduce number of how do you call it, like tests we run. So this is like the count flag in Go test, or we can make test longer. Or the first thing we should do is we have a tracking for test duration. So if you look at test grid, and the link is in the document, there is an option graph, test duration minutes, and it's a pretty nice thing because we can see how the test duration changed over time. And unfortunately, we have only like 2 weeks of data, so we cannot give full answer, but we can see that this test has taken 2 hours and the timeout is 3 hours 30 minutes. Something is not right. And here we have how it would be. This is like 3 hours 30 minutes. Yeah. So this is the timeout case. Here, not enough for timeout, and here is I think also timeout. So the question: why do we hit timeout here? Why the test is not finishing within time? And I think I have also suspicion that this is the thing that Henry is looking at, which is a bug in Porcupine. Looks like a bug in Porcupine. The linearization library that we are using. So I think Henry sent it to me today. And wrong Porcupine. We don't want on-device detection. We want a linearizability checker. So here, yeah, this is what Henry is. Yeah, so this is what he is reporting. So basically, this is the bug, exact bug fix. So the third option would be to fix. It would be good to confirm is this is like exact issue. But how to do that? We would need to find a scenario that is surprisingly much longer, taking much more longer. I know if it will show up here easily. Yeah. So here we have something that it's still very small numbers. Yeah, this is below a minute. Oh, this is 13 minutes. So I don't know if we are lucky. Is this why do I don't? No, not I'm not lucky today. Oh. Are there more log lines hidden somewhere? Is this also this test? So if I look at this test, maybe it's easier and more direct to open the build log. And I can find this. Okay. Linearization timeouts. So yeah, here is an example of a single test that took only timed out after I don't even know how to calculate this. This is in seconds. So after an hour. Yeah. So here we have a test that we set timeout. Please execute within an hour, 5 minutes or linearization, and it's run for hour. Yeah, I think I know. Also, Henry was proposing workarounds. But I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how he. I couldn't understood his explanation about what is happening, what he's changing exactly, because he's trying to work around a difference in behavior between two different calls to Porcupine library, but there he's going through just different code paths and using that. But I think this is the back in Porcupine, so I don't know if there is a beneficial of us. If I mean there is a short-term benefit, but I would prefer us not to like do short-term if we can just ask it to fix it in the library, because like this adds complication. Like we are adding so much code, like 100 lines of code just to our project, to instead of like fixing it in the original project. But we'll see. It was filed today, so I would want to see how the author responds. He's been not super responsive, but he's been doing progress. He accepted all the things and reviewed them after like some time. Yeah. So that's those things categorized. This is something new. I don't think we have time to review. And the fact that we have 0 QPS, it's strange and new. Like I was usually expecting 1, 10, 20 QPS, 80 QPS, but now we are reporting 0 or base -0, which is a float rounding error. And I think we don't have time to investigate it. But if someone wants to take a look and ping me on the chat, I'm happy to help to guide. And that should be it. I know. Wanted to leave 5 minutes to end to questions, and maybe also reverse the or me stop talking and maybe ask, because we have 2 new people wanted to ask about whether they, or for some feedback, whether they find this meeting informative or useful, if they're willing to answer. But yeah, if there are any questions or someone wants to speak up, feel free to do so. Yeah.
Hi, Marek. This is Arnab. So I am a new contributor, and this is my first time joining this call. So I got to know about this call basically from Sick Country Beck's APEC call, where Priyanka mentioned that we were having a robustness meeting call. So I went through the document for this call, and I saw that there are some pre-meeting preps that we need to go through. So I am yet to go through them, and I just wanted to know if I can get access to the latest recordings for these calls, because I can see there is a playlist there, but I think the last recording was 8 months old. So I just wanted to know if there is somewhere that I can get access to some of the latest recordings.
Yeah, they should be they exist or should exist. We haven't been great in uploading. Like we are missing contributors that could help with uploading it. If you ping me, I can help with that. It's not a problem. And sorry for for lack of recording. I can take that as a feedback and think we should improve. Any other thoughts?
No, I'm thinking of joining this call the next time we have this call as well, and get to know more about how things work here.
Sure.
Thank you.
No problem. And I just remembered there's a new talk that we did in KubeCon EU. And here is Mark. You can hear Mascus, and I cannot stop the video. And I cannot still. Yeah. So here's a new video. I'm happy to share the slides or there are more and more recordings for KubeCons. I think might get a little bit not manageable, but we'll try to make it more approachable, because it's something unique area, so that we good to have a context on that. But yeah, feel free to also, like, there are simpler way there than than recordings. It's simpler. I can say this is recommended. Okay. Dario, do you want to? I can hear you. I don't know if your mic is muted. And no, we can. Sorry.
Maybe you can type your question comment.
Yeah, if it's short, I will do my best to answer it. But no, nice. Okay. Okay. Just to read what's I don't think it's chat. Yeah, Dario is from Red Hat. He's just joining us also for the future. So happy to have you here. Yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're this meeting is to maintain and slowly develop the correctness testing of etcd. So most of the meeting is looking through, reading the bugs and improving it. We had a couple of successes with this approach, and you can read more about them in the links in the documentation. So that's the pre-read. It's the area is pretty unique, and workflow is a little bit different than other things. So we cannot fix all the issues. We cannot find and plan to fix everything, but we try to systematically catch all regression, reproduce them, and prepare tests for that, and improve the system while maintaining a little bit flaky infrastructure, because it's not an easy thing. Yeah, that's all for today. Thanks everyone who participated, and thanks new people for joining us. Hopefully we can collaborate longer, and yeah, hope to see you in 2 weeks. Have a great local time.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
Nice evening.
Yeah.